Good morning, everyone. Welcome. We are so happy to have you with us. Today, we are going to be having a conversation about abundance, but it's not abundance in the way that you might be used to hearing it, where people get very aggressively excited often about money. We're going to explore what abundance really means through the philosophy of Louise Hay. And this means we go beyond money. We're going into every area and every aspect of your life. And we're really excited to have you here. So, I'm Christy, and I'm the COO of Heal Your Life Trainings, and I am co teacher trainer with the beautiful Anna Milkic here. Um, in the USA for Heal Your Life trainings. And I was guided to the Louise Hay method, and I now get the joy of guiding people to connect with their inner light and to rediscover their love and worth that's already in. And I'm going to let Anna have a little say about who she is.
Yes, good morning, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, and hi from me. So nice to be here with you all. And I'm so excited for today's You're Meant to Be Abundant webinar. It's such an important topic to cover, and Louise Hay talked a lot about it. So, my name is Anna Milkic, and I'm certified Healer Life teacher for the US, coach, workshop leader, and I've been part of this work for many years, supporting people in creating real changes in their lives. So, if you stay with us until the end today, you'll hear how you can start practicing this work in your own life. What are the tools that you can bring and begin using right now? And what are the opportunities that we have for you throughout this year? Because me and Christy have a lot of different offers, from coaching to from group journey to the training this fall. It's all very excited, and you can start anywhere where you want to start to go deeper into this work. Also, we'll have a beautiful meditation to bring all we've talked about full circle and get you started on your abundance path. By the end of the time together, today you'll have a new understanding, and that's our goal, new understanding of abundance and a sense of what may be possible for you. And I promise you, the things that you'll hear today are not the things that they taught you probably in your at home, growing up, in your schools. It's a completely new concept. That Louise Hay brought, and abundance, as she describes, is the way of living. So, yeah, Christy, back to you.
So we'd love to hear where you guys are from. If you want to put in the chat where you're joining us from today, we have a bunch of you on, so we're so excited. And while you're putting that in the chat, we're going to talk about what my personal connection is with abundance. Boston, Massachusetts, Ontario, Canada, India, Italy. Oh, you guys, this is amazing. Christchurch, UK, Belgium. We're from all over the world. This is so awesome. Brazil. Oh, I'm so excited. And this right now is abundance. We're having abundance from all over the world in all of our panelists that have joined us today. We're so excited to have you here. Connecticut. Thank you all so much for giving us your
Oh,
time.
this makes
That
me
really
so
is
happy.
abundance. Yes, it really does. So, okay. So let me talk about how abundance has worked out for me. And it really has. And I absolutely love talking about abundance and sharing. I'm very much a practical kind of person. So I really like to talk about where something real has happened. And with me, when I first started working for Dr. Patricia Crane, who worked with directly with Louise and created this company with Louise's blessing. When I started working with her, I actually had not heard of Louise Hay. I was already very much so a positive person, a spiritual person. And I had been working with affirmations. I didn't realize that I was working with something that was, directly from the grandmother of affirmations, our real, spiritual leader. And I really started to, once I read You Can Heal Your Life, which was a requirement to take on this job, um, I realized that I still had a lot more that I could add to my life. And once I had been to my first training and we had really talked about abundance and prosperity and watched Louise Hay's prosperity video, I was like, I really want to change some things. And my husband and I, we had been living very clearly paycheck to paycheck. And we would often get to the end, we had a great life. But we would often get to the end of the month and I'd be like, okay, oh my God, we got nothing left. And we still got like 3 or 4 days until your paycheck comes in, until the next paycheck comes in. And I hated that feeling. And I know my husband hated that feeling. He was working so hard. I was working so hard. And I just thought, you know what? I know that my family history is this, that I watched my parents fight that paycheck to paycheck. And I'm just going to change my inner dialogue. So every time I feel the fear of there's not enough, the feeling of lack in my bank account, and it was, really specifically tied to that, I'm just going to say there's more than enough money. There is always more than enough money. And I just became super aware of every time I felt it, which turned out to be a lot more often than I thought it was there. I was really thinking about it far more than I realized. And I am not kidding. I can't tell you how long it took. I mean, really, I feel like it was very fast, but it was a long time ago, probably around a decade ago. I'm not kidding. We've never had another overdraft fee since, and nothing has changed in our finances. I mean, if nothing, we have a daughter who's in cheer. If anybody knows about that, that's very expensive. Our finances have only continued to go up. What we have to pay for, but everything has stayed the same. Like not or better. I'm sorry, not the same. It's better. It always is getting better, and the only thing that changed, you guys, was the affirmation, was my mindset. It was like I changed my circuits in my brain. And our brain is so incredibly powerful. And we have a choice that we can choose to think in lack. We can choose to always be in fear. We can choose that path, and it's so much more exciting and so much better. We can choose to believe in abundance,
Mm.
and we can choose to believe that everything out there is available to us. And we can choose to be in gratitude for what we have, to be happy for other people for what they have, and to be at peace with where we are while we continue to grow and build. And now Anna is going to tell us how Louise talks about abundance.
Yes. It just came to me as you talked about your daughter and cheerleading. There's a saying, small kids, small expenses, big kids, big expenses. So it's only getting, more and more, which is perfectly fine.
It really is. I
Yeah.
embrace it.
Yeah, we love them. So in Louise Hay's philosophy, abundance is not something that's outside of you. And this is super important. It is
Mhm.
not something that you have to chase or to earn. It's not something outside there that you may get there, you may not. She really taught us that abundance is our natural state. It's our birthright. It's your birthright. You're born to be abundant. And in a little bit, I'll give you a great example of that. So, what creates your experience is not what's happening outside. Because, like, I can tell you, I come from a different part of the world, Eastern Europe, and this concept was so strange to me. I couldn't even understand it 20 years ago. But it only hit me when I realized it's not what's happening outside. It's your thoughts. It's your beliefs. And the most important thing, it's your relationship with yourself.
Yeah.
Thinking about how you relate to your friends, how you talk to them, how do you encourage them, how you support them. Well, imagine using all of that love, support, encouragement, and having a bigger picture for yourself. It goes back to your relationship with yourself that then goes back to the outside and creates experience. Now, I remember when I was pregnant with my daughter, I found out I was pregnant. I got outside and I went for a walk, and I promise you, only thing I could see was pregnant ladies. I've never seen a pregnant woman. I don't remember seeing pregnant women ever before in a way that I saw them then. I would see them from time to time, but it was like, oh, she's pregnant. And oh, there's not a pregnant lady. Oh, look at that outfit for the pregnancy. And recently, I have a friend who says, I really wanted to buy a white Tesla. And I say, wow, good for you, go for it. And she goes, well, then I started seeing it everywhere on the street. Everyone's driving white Tesla. There's white Tesla, and there's white Tesla, and there's white Tesla. And now I don't want it anymore because everyone's driving it. You see, I didn't notice that everyone's driving white Tesla, but her focus was so much there that I was the only thing she could see. So two
Yeah.
people can be in the same exact situation when we talk about abundance. External, the same situation, right? And they can have experience it completely differently.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a beautiful story about a shoe store that wanted to explore a new market and a country they never explored before and see how they can fit there. So they sent two salesmen over there to explore the market. And a couple of days after that, the first one calls and says, boss, no opportunity here. It's so sunny, it's so hot, everyone's going barefoot, we're not going to sell anything. A couple of hours later, the other salesman calls and says, boss, you're not going to believe it. We're going to rock here. No one wears shoes. We can sell thousands, right? It goes
Yep.
back to the mindset.
Yep.
What do you want
Mm-hmm.
to see in the
Yep.
situation you are in? How you think. Why? Because it's mindset. How you think, what you believe you're worthy of, and how
Mm-hmm.
often you are willing to receive, and how open you are to receiving. All of that is shaped in your belief system. And that becomes your reality. And I love that term, and Louise uses this in all of her affirmations. I'm open to receiving. I'm willing to be open to receiving. Because we're not there yet sometimes. We're not receiving. And something that, pay attention to this is very important. Receiving is a form of self love. Oh, that was completely new for me. Receiving is a form of self love. We love to buy gifts. We love to be there to support our friends. We love to be there and serve others. But receiving health, receiving wealth, receiving opportunities, receiving help, receiving abundance is a form of self love. Once you have left and right, so it's giving and receiving. It's coming and going outside. So once you balance that and you feel good, like equally, close to equally good with both, you mastered self love because it feels good to receive.
It feels so good to receive.
Right. So many people live from fixed mindset.
Yeah.
Well, this is just who I am. That's my reality. You see, this is how my life is.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, really? Oh, I love
Mm-hmm.
those. I love those. But the beautiful thing that Louise taught us is that that is not permanent. You only have to be willing and open to look from the other side, and that's fixed mindset to growth mindset. That's that change that comes in play with coaching. You can shift it in a different way of thinking. This is who I choose to become. This is what I'm open to creating. I love it. And from
Mhm.
that place, your life begins to change. Because when you change your thinking, you begin to change your experience.
Exactly. And that's really true. I would love to hear from our audience what what thinking are you looking to change? What do you feel like your fixed mindset might have been before this webinar, before you started thinking about changing it? What are you looking to work on? And while you're letting us know that, I want to talk about how abundance is so much more than money. Like, what does abundance really mean? And Louise talked about this a lot. Abundance, people often think of prosperity and it often comes to money. And honestly, one of the things Louise said that I really relate to and I think is so funny is she said it was easier to talk about sex and politics
Hmm.
with her coaching clients than it was to talk about money. And, that, think about that. People get really tied to their concept around money, not realizing that abundance is already there. It's their natural birthright. I, you know, I hadn't, I believed in gratitude before I came to this work, before I found Louise. And I was always a really grateful person, but I hadn't realized how much gratitude was tied to my prosperity. And then when I looked around at people, how much gratitude and abundance and prosperity are all tied together. You can be abundant in time. And think about that. That's actually the abundance that I'm currently working on is more time to have just time in my own head because I can find that I struggle to find that moment. So if you feel like you are poor in time, that will show up in your life. And that is something I have pretty much always felt poor in. And so time, I feel like, has been harder for me to work on even than money. But I really, really work on abundance and time. And I have been working on it now for probably 2 or 3 years. And I really am starting to see the shift. And it's crazy. It's just like with the, when I saw the shift with the bank account. It is crazy where I'd be like, I don't have time to meditate. Do you know what I have to do today? There's so much. I don't have time to go to the gym. There's so much on my list. And again, not much has changed on my list. I mean, if anything, again, I have more on my to-dos. I've learned to be grateful for my to-dos. And that's not to say it's every day. Sometimes I look at them and I want to weep. And then I remember to get back into gratitude. And I go back to one of my favorite things is to think about people who don't have anything to do. My grandfather didn't pass away until he was 93. And he lived in a senior home where he could stay independent, but, um, food and some things, he had stuff done for him. It was a small apartment he had. And he would say, I used to be so busy and now I have nothing to do. And he was so sad. And I thought, oh, we take it for granted this time in our lives when our careers are hopping, our families are growing, our parents need us, all the things our relationships need the time and the energy. And we think, oh, I just wish I had time to myself. How about instead, I'm so grateful for all the people who love me and want time with me. I'm so grateful for my career that is expanding and growing. And I'm so grateful for the time that I have to meditate, to write, to work out, whatever it is that you want for yourself, because you are welcome to those things. But you have to believe that you deserve them. And that is an abundance. That is abundance belief. When you put everybody else before you, that is a belief in lack, right? That
Yes,
is a
it
good,
is.
it
And as
is.
parents, specifically as parents, we tend to
Yeah.
do that. And I talk to my clients, I'm like, if your cup is empty, how the hell are you gonna give it anything to anyone?
Yeah.
Your
It's
cup needs to
true.
be filled, and then once it overfills, you can, share lovingly with others.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And it's important to have your mindset in place because what happens if you don't have your mindset in place is you become resentful. And I know that because I've been there where I'm like ready to sit down and meditate and I'm all and suddenly and I forgot to put on my do not disturb on my phone, but I'm using my phone, as part of my meditation. And then suddenly ping, 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 in comes emails, in comes texts, in comes I need you, I need you, I need you. And I'm like, I get resentful. That's not the people who reached out's fault by any stretch. That's mine. I own that. And I work on that mindset.
Mm.
And I am learning to love emails. Every time I see one, to remember that's somebody out there who loves Louise Hay so much. That person took the training. And not only does that person love Louise Hay so much, that person now wants to get into their profile and can't remember their password and they just need some help. And I'm here to help them find that password. And I'm grateful that they want that password. I'm grateful that they feel safe and comfortable coming to me for it, even though it's going to take me 10 minutes to figure this out and get it all done and send it on its way. I'm happy that the people are there and that they are spreading love and light in the world.
Yes, and we are so happy for all of you who are here today with us, and
Yes.
we are so happy to share more about the upcoming training in a little bit. So
Yes.
let's ask some questions, Christy.
So I would love to hear, where are you working on abundance? After listening to this, where are you working on abundance? What do you want more of in your life? Is it time? Is it love? Is it support? Is it
Mm.
opportunities? Is it peace, well being? What else is out there? Support. Mm-hmm.
I see fear of not having enough or losing what I already have, and I would love to offer an affirmation for you.
Yes.
Fear of not having enough or losing what I already have. It's so common. I bless what I have. I bless what I already have, and I welcome even more.
I love that. I bless what I already have and I welcome even more. And I think,
Anytime, I'm sorry, let me just say this. Anytime I see fear, and people start sentence with a fear because it's fear that comes first, right? Especially when we talk about abundance. Well, if I work myself for the money, then I'm gonna lose health. It's always fear that one thing needs to suffer in order to have
yes,
something else, or that someone says opportunity. So, the fear that opportunities are not gonna be there. So I need abundance of opportunities. Always ask yourself, when there's fear, what is the opposite of fear? It's love.
mhm,
Where there is love, there's no room for fear. So when you start with the fear, I have this fear, this is showing up for me, just pause for a second and ask yourself, what would love do now? What would love say now?
I love it. Every time
Every
you ask
time
that question, every
mhm, it,
time.
it brings you back to the present moment of it helps you
Yes.
take a deep breath and really think because we have a lot of thoughts, right? And Louise's work is all about thoughts. Now, the question is, and as a coach, I do this all the time with my clients, is that true? Is
Yes.
that thought that you have true?
Yeah.
And when I ask my clients this, they start laughing. And then we break that. Whoo! Because it's just in your head. It takes your body. It takes over your body.
Yeah.
You're
Because,
shaking, you're nervous, anxiety levels going up, you're in fear. It can be good feeling. But when I ask, is that true? And what would love do now?
and what would love to now?
So something for self-coaching that you can use. You're
And
welcome.
when you feel that fear, I find that one of the best affirmations, if you're just really in that fear and you can't get past it, I love what would love do now and the affirmation, I am safe.
Mm-hmm.
I am safe. I am safe. Remember that if you're just like, I can't, I'm in so much fear right now. You can just, you don't even have to go any further. I am safe. I am safe. I am safe. I am safe until you start to feel that central nervous system come back down. When you start to feel that anxiety. And you can put it with anything you've got going on. I am safe to be supported. I am safe to accept the opportunities that come my way. I am safe and I feel peace.
Yes, I feel peace. That's amazing.
Mhm.
And I see a couple of you mentioned opportunities. Opportunities. Just affirm for more opportunities in your life. Whichever area it is that you're thinking of when you say opportunities, opportunities come to me.
Yeah.
I'm open for new opportunities. And just see what
Yep.
happens. You'll notice a billboard. You'll hear the song in the car. You'll have the moment of, oh, there it is.
Hmm.
And
You
just being here today is an opportunity. You're spending an hour with us. I acknowledge you for that because
absolutely.
you already did something great for yourself today, and you're doing it. So yeah, let's continue.
Okay. So before we go on, what I really want to know from everybody, because previously we asked, what are they struggling with? Oh, this is a good one. You know what, Kay? Let's come back to that, but it's such a good question. And I want to come back to that before we get to talking about the training, because Kay asked, how do you talk to people in war zones? And I really love that.
And I
What I
really have
wanted,
experience with this.
and Anna has amazing, yeah, she really does. What I want to hear from all of you now is, what are you feeling abundant in? What do you already feel like you have great abundance of? And Anna's going to talk about, why do we get stuck if abundance is supposed to be our natural state? What happens that makes us stuck?
Yes. If we look at it as being so natural, why does it feel that way? Why is it hard? Why is it heavy? Why do we feel like we need to work really hard? So this is where most people get stuck. And I have clients in my sessions, they're my great examples. They come and they say, I want more. We go through the list of what do you want to achieve, where do you want to go with this, what are your goals, what are we working on? And they say, I want more. I want more money. I want more ease. Ease is a big one in every area of life, more support, but nothing is changing. I just want more, and nothing is changing. And then as we talk and as I ask questions, it becomes really clear.
Right,
They feel uncomfortable receiving help. And I talked about this before, but it goes back to feeling guilty just resting sometimes. I have busy moms and businesswomen who just feel like if I sit down, oh my God, it's so much guilt around it. I have to do this and I have to do that. And we put so much on our plate. Now we want to be abundant, but we got to keep going like hamsters in a wheel. So, guilt about resting? When was the last time you took a nap on your couch reading a book?
naps are so great. That is such an abundance.
Such
Oh
an
my gosh.
abundance. I want you to
Yes.
answer this question in the chat. When was the last time you took, even if it's a morning nap, 10 o'clock, it still works. Kids at
Yeah.
school, something, happens. You have a minute and you take a break.
Hmm.
So
Take a
people don't
break.
feel, people don't fully believe they deserve more. And this is the core work of Louise Hay's philosophy. It's called deservability.
Hmm.
So even when I work with clients who have something good comes their way, they question it. They push it away and sometimes they don't even recognize it at all. So I say, hold on, hold on. Now this happened. Can we look at it? And they go, oh yeah. Because sometimes we're so stuck in not having enough that when things and opportunities even come and show up, we take them for granted and we say, well, what's the big deal? And I
Yeah.
said this story, I don't know if it was the last webinar or one of the what will Louise say shows that we have on YouTube. Something somewhere I talked about this. It was the Starbucks coffee. I have this application for Starbucks coffee and I go over there and they scan it and I get points, okay? And they take the money out of my card. And I go once and I have my favorite store here close to my house. And I go and they scan it and I come home and I see that they didn't take the like the money is still there, the same amount I had before. And I said, well, probably it was a mistake, I don't know. So I go the next time I go, I don't go every day, but next time I go over there, I go and drive through, stop, scan it, I come home, no points, but no money taken out. And I was like, oh, that's a second free coffee. Okay, thank you, God. Well, I guess you wanted me to be abundant in coffee, so I
He
have
wanted
coffee.
you to be abundant in coffee.
Right? But then there's guilt. There's
And
guilt.
Anna
I'm
loves
like,
her coffee, you
I
guys.
love my
Anna loves her
coffee.
coffee.
Yes.
She does.
So I'm thinking now I feel guilty if I go third time, like now I know it. It's not abundance if I know it and I just take it. So I'm just gonna go to a different location and see what happens. Maybe it's their system, maybe I don't know, their scanning system. So I go over there and the person in front of me takes time to order and now she's at the window and she's adding something and I'm in a white line waiting for my order. And I come to the window and I, and I put my phone out so they can scan it. And the person comes through the window, hands me my coffee, and she says, this is on us. You've been waiting along in line because the person before you took some time. So this is on us. Have a beautiful day. And I said, thank you. I really wanted to pay, but now here I am, third coffee in a row free. That's abundance.
It
Now,
is
some
abundance.
people, it's funny. It's nothing. It's like $5, but it is. Louise says if you find a cent, a dime on a street, get it.
Hmm.
You're giving universe sign that you noticed it,
Hmm.
that you're open for more. You say,
Hmm.
oh, thank you. Free
Yeah.
coffee. Thank you. And I'm ready for
Yeah.
more.
The
Thank you, and I
universe
want more.
is always giving us signs and it's always responding to what we're putting out. And Anna, you were putting out this beautiful story of free coffee. And it just kept coming to you.
It just keeps coming to me. Then I had a free lunch. Someone paid it in front of me.
And I
And
want to say, one of our audience, you had a free lunch too? Wait, hold on. What?
yes, I actually wrote on my Instagram, the stranger bought me lunch. I didn't even get a chance to say thank you because he left, but he was in line in front of me for the salad. And by the time, and it was kind of the same time. So I was like, I guess life loves me.
Yeah.
But then I said, thank you. Thank you, life. I see you love me. I see you support me. I
Hmm.
see you sending me this. I did not ignore it. I can't say this enough. I love to have fun with this.
Hmm.
This is, even though healing, it can be really heavy, also abundance and Louise's philosophy, it's so much fun. It's such joy. And I remember years ago seeing and watching and listening to Louise on stage at I Can Do It conferences. This was like back 15 years ago, even more. She had so much fun. She was so playful.
She
So
was so playful.
once you get that
Yes.
energy around all the philosophy, and I invite my all of you to do that, and I do this with my clients. I say, let's
Yep.
have fun with it. Let's explore.
Let's
Let's
explore.
do
Let's have
let's do this
fun.
exercise and see how
Yes.
abundance shows up for you.
Yes. And it really is fun to play with. People often think that we need to be very serious in our spirituality and we need to be very serious in our affirmations and our thinking and really it can be so much fun to play with.
Mm,
And then it becomes so much fun to notice when it shows up.
mm.
And that's really true. We had one of our audience members say that she felt for years that she didn't deserve naps. And now she loves her naps so much.
That's good.
And it's often really and truly the little things where
Yeah.
the abundance really shows up and brings us our big joys.
It brings us our big joys. And one thing this is very important. Louise talks about this. What is one thing? I'm asking you one question. Don't slide. No, don't slide.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I will not slide to it. I'm sorry. You want to ask it before I slide
I
to
want
it?
to ask it.
Go
Yes.
for it.
What
It
is
was very
one?
quick.
Well, for you who saw it, forget you saw it.
It was too
Uh,
quick.
yeah. What is one thing that we cannot live without? What is one thing? And just put it in chat. And if you saw it, then too bad. Love. I know. Love. Everyone says
Love,
love. We can't live
love.
without love. But you know what? The sad part is that we actually can live without
We
love. Yeah.
can function.
Yeah, we
Yes.
can function. It's gonna be dysfunction, but we can function. Breath.
Mm,
Yes. Breath,
breath.
breath, breath. It is. Those are my cheaters. They saw the answer. Just
Or they
kidding.
just
Love you
knew.
guys. Yes, they knew. They knew. Yes, it's the air, right? There's
Hmm.
an unlimited supply available to all of us. And we don't worry whether there's enough for everyone.
Yeah.
And that scarcity
Hmm.
thinking that if that person gets something, well, I'm not gonna have it.
Anna, would you stop breathing my air?
Would you please stop reading because there's not
Just
enough for
stop,
me.
please. Please stop breathing my
Please.
air.
So if abundance flows so freely in one form, why would it be limited in others? So if this creator who created all of us, all of this that we have, life, God, energy, call it whatever you want, why would they give us enough air so that we can all breathe
Mhm.
and then limit everything else?
It's it's just so practical.
It is so
It's such a
practical.
practical way of looking at it, and I love practical. I
Me
love the
too.
spirituality too, and but the practical, if we can be abundant in that, why can't we be abundant in everything? It really is our natural birthright. We are born abundant. We are born without fear. We are born feeling safe in everything.
Mm.
So
You know,
how do we?
Louise used to say that as a $100 bill as spiritual as Rose. We give it a meaning.
Yes. Yes.
We give it a meaning.
Mm-hmm. It's and that, oh my gosh, I love that. It's so true.
Mm.
We give the meaning to it. So how do we make that shift? Because we can talk about this until we turn blue. Anna and I love this topic. We love all of our topics. We can just talk forever. The best part is that it actually is possible to change. And your age, your experiences, your history, your present, your future, none of it matters. Wherever you're at in your life right now, it is possible to rewire the language that is in your head. That you can so many times, and we talked about this, but we get so stuck and we think this is my past, this is my present. And I just want to say you can be living in your car and you can feel abundant.
Mhm.
And you can be living in a mansion with a bank account that has so many zeros you can't even count them. And you can feel lack. So it's really and truly in order because you're already perfectly abundant exactly as you are.
Mhm.
That's the thing. And that's the big difference to understand. It's getting to it and unburying the abundance that you already have. You are already perfectly abundant. So how do you change that mindset? And people always want to hear about the money mindset. So this works for money. It works for opportunities. This works for love. This works for safety. This works for anything, but it really all is abundance. And it all comes down to awareness. Take that one thing that is so important to you and become aware of it. Become aware of every time the fear, the frustration, the the thought that is not serving you shows up and change it to a thought that serves you. because you have been critical how many times? And has it ever actually served you? Has it? I mean, I cannot think of a single time that being mean or critical or anything actually served me or anyone I even know. Notice that negative thinking and unbury the light that is already within you and turn it into a positive thought. So if you're looking to have more opportunities and you feel fear, it may be fear that no opportunities ever show up. It may be fear of stepping into the opportunity, but you feel that lack of safety for whatever reason. You just say, I hear you. Thank you for protecting me, but I love the opportunities come my way. You just be aware. If you're looking for more support and you feel resentment and you feel like nobody is out there supporting you and you like, oh, even as soon as I said that, I felt myself move like this. Nobody is there supporting me. God, it feels so awful to say. Thank you for showing up. I know you're just trying to protect me,
Mhm.
but I love the support that I receive. I trust people are there to support me. I trust that whatever it is you feel like isn't supporting you, I trust its support. I trust in myself to trust the support. What if you have a fear of the new? An audience member just asked us, what if you're fearing the new? How do you shift fearing change? And that's a big one. It's a big tenement of Louise's philosophy. It's only change. It's only change. But it can feel so scary to change and to have new opportunities. And honestly, your brain it's not trying to hurt you, it's trying to protect you. It's trying to protect you from maybe past experiences or future concerns that you have. And you are capable of just saying, I am safe to try new things. Somebody just put it, all is well. All is well is my favorite affirmation of all time. It's the one I go to all the time. All is well. I use it with people in the grocery store. I use it with my relationships. I use it with my coaching clients. I use it everywhere. All is well. And if you're feeling like something is scary, I am safe to step into that new situation. All is well. I am safe. Thank you for protecting me. I'm ready to move forward. These are the beautiful affirmations and the deserving. Anna, I know you've worked a lot on deserving. How do we work or rephrase when somebody feels I don't deserve?
Yes. So you just keep repeating to yourself the affirmation, I'm deserving of all good.
Hmm.
I'm deserving of all good. Now, affirmation just by itself can do miracle. But belief underneath needs to change. So maybe you want to think about working with someone and get to where this undesirability comes from and how to resolve that and maybe let go of the things and forgive. But for now, the easiest thing is to just go in front of the mirror, look at yourself in the eyes, and say, I'm deserving of all good. And if that really feels strange, say, I'm willing to feel deserving of all good. And I'm willing to believe that I deserve all good. And just do it in front of the mirror and do it for the next 7 to 10 days. And write me back and let me know how it works. Because it does work a miracle. A mirror work along with affirmations is just, I can't say there's anything better to do as instant change in whatever it is that you feel.
Yeah, I
And
agree.
there's
The
also
mirror
another
work is really
question.
big.
Mm-hmm. And there was another question I wanted to address as well. How do we raise? How to speak? How? Mm-hmm. Campaigning, how do you
While you
feel?
look at for that, I'm going to talk about the one that just came up.
Mm-hmm.
We have an audience member who says, currently, I feel very insecure about my career and finances. I do acknowledge the feeling and I do my affirmations. But can you tell me one thing action wise which I can do to shift this? And I love this question because the tools, right? The the philosophy of Louise Hay has been around since ancient times, but the tools, these really pragmatic tools that we have in our toolbox, can help you make that shift. And I always say, no, you do you. I personally absolutely love mirror work. I love, love, love mirror work. If that helps you, if you feel like you can step in front of the mirror and say, I am grateful for my career. I am willing to be grateful. I am safe to move forward in my career. I am willing to be safe. I am deserving of all the good in my career. I love watching my bank account flow into abundance. Walk into a mirror and say that. If the mirror is not for you, pull out something else in your toolbox. Get out your journal and start writing down. Write a list on one side what you're afraid of, and write a list on the other side of the affirmation that works against that fear.
Mm-hmm.
And keep it somewhere you can see it. Anna, what else do you want to pull from the toolbox?
Uh, for this one specifically, I'm sorry, I'm just reading the next one. I thought you were
No, 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 I can. I thought you were
It's
ready to
no,
say
it's good.
something.
No, it's perfectly fine. Insecurities also goes back to fear.
Yeah,
Okay, I feel
always.
insecure because I feel fear.
Yeah,
And now there's a beautiful book that comes to me by Susan Jefferson that's called Feel the Fear and Do It
do it
Anyway.
anyway.
So sometimes when it comes to action, as I said, affirmation helps fear stand close to you, but not takes over you. And then fear can be there, and you can still take the action because you build self-trust, you build confidence through self-trust, through making steps and
Mm-hmm,
actions. Even though it
mm-hmm,
sometimes feels scary, you don't let fear takes over you. By you sit down and you talk to yourself. Basically, this is how I feel, and I know this is just fear, and I'm willing now to go beyond my fear, beyond and above my fear, and do this.
mm-hmm,
And then one affirmation that helped me in the past, even though I don't know how to do this, I'm ready to do it. Even though I don't have certain steps on how this is going to resolve,
mm-hmm.
I'm willing to do it and I'm going to do it. So, sometimes we have to affirm that even though we're not sure, we're still making progress and we're still doing it. It's a beautiful affirmation. It really gives you, because with affirmations, what is the goal? What do you want to do? You want to empower yourself.
Yeah.
Want to be
Yes.
that
Yes,
cheerleader
that
for
is the
yourself
goal.
and
Yes.
you got
Mm-hmm.
it. You can do this. Even though I don't know how, I'm willing to do it.
Yeah.
What
And
would
that
love do
really,
now?
what would love do now? What would love do now? And go
Okay.
ahead, Anna. You found the one you wanted to address, right?
I found the one I want to go back to the
Mm-hmm.
one that we talked about. How you speak to people in war zones like Gaza or Iran or Sudan that are
Okay.
literally going bombed and or shot at about these topics. I'm originally from Serbia, and Serbia was bombed in 1999. I was 17, and I talked about this recently in the interview with Martin Bernard. What would Louise say? So if you want to go back to our YouTube and find that one, you can hear about my experience and how I went through that. But it is scary to feel physically and emotionally unsafe, and it's so big that's happening outside of you that you can't sometimes in those situations you can't really control fear, and it would be not okay to ask someone to be at ease. But what people can do is just in a form of gratitude, of prayer or affirmation, keep saying that they're safe. I'm safe and my family is safe. and we are going through this, and we are safe, and I'm safe, because the emotional part is something that they people will deal later on, most likely, or that was my experience. You're trying to survive. You're trying to survive the night. You're trying to survive the moment when you hear bombs.
Mhm.
And again, I have, even when I hear planes, sometimes if it's loud, I go like this because my body responds. But I know that I'm safe. So just repeating to yourself, I'm safe, and know that you're safe, and I know you're safe, and know you're safe, and you're safe in your body. And this will pass. And this will pass. That's the only, not only, but only thing right now that I can tell you. And if you want to more know, want to know, some more, we can do some coaching around it. But for this purpose, I think that's the best.
We have another really hard question in there, that's it comes, what do we say to somebody who has been diagnosed with a life-threatening illness?
Mm.
How do we explain this to them? And the one thing um, is to remind people that death is not a failure. We haven't somehow failed, and death is not a it's not a punishment. We're not being punished by somebody through death. All of us, we are living beings, and we will all transition at some point. And so it is a fact of life. And I love to go back and to talk about Louise Hay's work with patients with AIDS. And she started working with them in the early 80s before there was even a name for it. And there most of the people she worked with died from the disease that they had. The goal was not to save them from death, because again, death is not a failure. It will happen to all of us. We will transition to that next phase. The goal is to love yourself in that time, is to find your gratitude in that time, to realize where you're abundant, even when you're uncomfortable, when you're in pain, because that will happen with a very serious illness like that. But you can find joy still. Anna talks about finding joy in sharing chocolate. This is a story that I just love that story when she was, being bombed and she was living in a war zone, and her and the kids found joy in chocolate, a piece that they had to share.
Mm.
And there is still joy for somebody who has been diagnosed with an illness. There is um, still laughter. And the main thing is to support that person and help them find it. If you are with a person who is doing that, don't be afraid to allow them to feel, obviously, the feelings, but also to feel joy. Sometimes people get very uncomfortable around that with people who are sick. Death is not a failure, it is an inevitability.
And you can always find YouTube videos because Louise went through that experience herself.
Yes.
So she talks about it because it was a real, you know, challenge to show that everything she's done and she works, the whole idea and how she implemented that into her disease. So we have to move on, and I
We
love all of
do.
your questions. We have to move on because we want to talk about the training, about the journey that starts tomorrow. So Christy, would you move it to the next slide, please?
I would love to move
And
it
I
to the
love,
next
love, love
slide.
your questions. Yes. Okay, I'll go through this very quickly. This is a practical exercise that you can try now. So just close your eyes for a moment, wherever you are, unless you're driving. Take a moment to take a deep, deep breath and ask yourself, where in my life do I find it hard to receive? Just notice, no judgment, no analyzing your answer. Just where in my life am I finding it hard to receive? And then place your hand on your heart and repeat. I'm open and willing to receive more good in my life. I'm open and willing to receive more good in my life. And you don't have to fully believe it yet, but be open to the possibility. And just continue doing this for the next couple of days. I'm open and willing to receive more good in my life. And just open your eyes and know that placing a hand over your heart when you say this feels like a promise to yourself. So you can always place your hand on your heart or right here to express when you talk about your affirmations. Just a simple exercise you can do daily. Yeah, we noticed that some of the words, and I know a couple of you mentioned the green one,
Yeah.
the letters are
I
not.
don't know why that
I
changed
don't
like
know
that.
why is
That
it
is very
happening.
strange.
Hmm.
It's like another
But it's okay.
language got in there. It's
Yeah,
very weird.
yeah, that's weird.
We love technology and technology loves us.
We love it.
That is a great, I have no idea.
Okay.
All right, let's move on to the Heal Your Life training, you guys. I just again want to say it's such an abundant feeling to have you all here. We're so grateful. If what we talked about today resonated with you, this is honestly just the beginning. This work goes so much deeper when you're supported, guided, and surrounded by others. I mean, as you can see, we filled up an hour so quickly. I can't believe we're already at the hour. And when you are with others who are on a similar path with you and who want to heal with you and want to learn and be guided with you, I can't even begin to express how deep this is going to be. And we have a panel, an audience member who is saying she's doing the workshop next, I think it was next month, next week in
Leader training,
India.
yes.
Yes. And we're so excited for you. You're going to hear from me and you're going to hear from Michaela. I can't wait to get to know you even better. Um, for Anna and I, we are doing ours in the USA. This is a combination certification where you become both a life coach and a workshop leader. And I love to talk about how our training is actually very unique. And I have really looked into this around the world and around other programs. We are unique in the fact that you get both the coaching and the workshop leader. So both of these both of these expertises funnel into each other. And it really is amazing to be able to do that. On top of that, for your price, you get a retreat with us for 9 nights in San Diego, which I'm not seeing any other, right? We're so excited to do it in person. You get almost 4 months online with us, and you get 9 nights and 10 days in person, which we are over the moon about. And it's all for the same price as most people are charging for just a coaching program. And a lot of that's pre-recorded. All of our stuff is live. This is a space for deep personal transformation, and it's also a path if you feel called to do the meaningful work and to guide others, like you're seeing Anna and I do, and the 1,800 teachers and coaches that we currently have licensed in over 9 languages, in over 90 countries. It's just all over the world. You will learn the philosophy of Louise Hay in depth. You will get your coaching skills. Um, Obviously, I'll be there for that, but Anna is seriously one of the best coaches I have ever met. Ever. You will learn how to lead workshops um, and you will learn how to support others in creating change. Somebody did just ask if you can do this all online due to the intensive nature of Louise's program. You do need that in-person component. It's really important, and it really takes you to that next step of being able to say, that credibility because you did this in-person component. when you are talking to others about your credibility as the workshop leader or as the life coach. And it's also an amazing opportunity to just connect and be with other people. So you will become a part of a global heart-centered community. All you got to do is go to louisehayusa.com to learn a lot more about it. We want to keep this on time. So Anna's going to talk about our next step towards abundance.
Yes, I just want to say that this is an international certification because I am teaching in two countries. And everywhere you travel, you take your certification with you, and you can do workshops and you can coach. The program is approved by Louise Hay, and it is authorized by Hay House. So the next step we have, you can email us at Hero Life Trainings at gmail.com. You can go and visit louisehayusa.com. There is also an option on top of the website to book a free info call with Zoom info call with me and Christy, and find more about the training if this is the right next thing for you. And you can also join, we start tomorrow our 6-week program that's called Heal a Life Journey. It is online portal. We meet once a week, every Thursday for the next 6 weeks, and it's hour and a half. And then you also have an online portal where you go, you do your exercises, you do your meditations, and we come back. And it's kind of group coaching, just like as we did now, but just imagine being live, and you can talk to us and also do the chat in the box. So it's amazing program. We cover 5 topics. It's desirability, loving relationships, mind-body connection, boundaries, and
Oh gosh,
what else
what did you forget?
is I forgot one.
Relationships, boundaries, there's another one.
Yeah, there's another one, but it's all good. Prosperity.
Of course,
Prosperity.
prosperity, the thing we're talking about.
Yes. So we start tomorrow. You can still join us. It's only $350 for 6 weeks. You have access to an online portal for the next 6 months. And it's a great taste if you're thinking about a training and you're not sure whether training is right thing for you, or you're not sure about the philosophy and how it goes because you're new to Louise Hay's work. Just join us tomorrow. Spend 6 weeks with us, and then if you decide you want to take the training in September, we'll just put that money toward your tuition for the training and help you in that way. And then you'll have a 6-week course as a gift from us because we want you to feel abundant and life loves you. And I get free Starbucks coffee, and then you'll get a free 6 weeks journey if you come and train with us in
That's
September.
right. You get it. Yep, absolutely. And I just want to say we have actually a beautiful testimonial here in our audience. We have somebody who says, I've done the training twice in 2023 and 2024. She went back the second time as a team lead in Banff, Alberta. And the training has been a huge catalyst for change in her life and a foundation for where she is at today. So thank you so much for giving us that beautiful testimonial. And if you really are struggling, and we saw a lot of really great questions in the chat, and you're struggling and you're looking for that next way to go forward, I truly suggest joining the Heal Your Life journey. And, you know, you're all on our interest list, so you will get that information. It will be coming in an email to you so you can join the journey. Because it really will help you make that big shift and move into the next space of healing. All right. I just want to say again, thank you very much. We are going to go a little bit over, but we promised you a closing, a really beautiful closing, and we want to be able to give that to you. So if you can stay, we'd love you to stay for the next few minutes while we just go through a quiet moment of awareness. And again, Anna and I feel so incredibly abundant to have you all here. I can't say how connected I already feel to you guys. It's such a real thing for me. And I know I love you. I love you all and wish the best for every single one of you as you move forward.
Yes, we do. Thank you so
Yeah.
much for being with us.
Okay. So now get yourself comfortable, and we're going to do a quiet moment of awareness, and then we'll say goodbye. Take a slow, easy breath and allow your body to soften. Now gently bring your attention to what is already supporting you, right here, right now. And take a deep breath in and notice the abundance of air as you breathe. Notice the ground beneath you and how it supports you. Feel your life energy. Notice that you are alive and you are present. Let your awareness expand to the abundance around you, the support you've received, the moments of kindness you've known, the resources, opportunities, and connections present in your life. Look around and see even the ones you overlook. Say thank you for these signs of true wealth. Breathe in and remember the universe loves you. The universe supports you. There is more working for you than against you. There's no effort needed. You don't need to fix anything. All you need is your awareness. Abundance becomes easier to recognize when you take a moment to slow down and see. We appreciate you spending your valuable time with us, and we are abundant with your love and energy. Thank you.
Thank you.